Dear friends, good evening and welcome to Anthroposophic Conference Malaysia's 2024 preview for tonight. I know everyone, many people, we have a holiday mood. Yeah, it's on today because after that, there could be a long holiday for schools and also for the festive season. And so we'll do a recording for those who are unable to attend tonight. Yeah, they still can, they are able to review for the to view back the playback. Yeah. Okay. So tonight we have our dear friend Niki Ong from Exits, yeah, to share her inspirational story about her transformation journey from being an engineer to waking up to her destiny and become a certified massage therapist and a dedicated Lyre player. Yeah. So I met Nikki. I think we know each other's from IPMTs about 7 or 8 years ago, and we also the classmate. And in both of us are trained under anthroposophy's nursing trainer under the trainers Rolf Heine from Germany. Yeah, so um, we have a close connection and know each other so well, and the journey up and down and see, and also Nikki share a lot of her own story, how she go through all this stuff and how she's so determined and dedicated in this path that he has chosen. Yeah, she also found it exists an organization where specializing in the palliative care, special needs, and elderly care. Yeah, she also actively involved in the community services. So every time when I heard about her story, and it really gives me different time of meanings and brings a different kind of a feeling, warm. Yeah, every time the story will bring me something new, and I can see how not easy, along the journey, and it seems like the life, right? The challenges they give you bring you kind of meaning and another reason or open up another door for her also. So I'm so thankful that we have a Nikki tonight to join us and to share her story about how she going through all this path, and especially when she encounter IPMTs or others learning. Yeah, hand over to you, Nikki.
Okay, thanks Samantha for introducing, and good evening to everyone. Yeah, so story, we have 30 minutes, right? Okay, we have 30 minutes for this evening, and I think some of you have already heard about my story here and there somehow a little bit. So I'm actually like just thinking like, what should I talk today for these 30 minutes so it could be meaningful for you who attend or take your time and effort to attend this evening. So then I think about when I look back, actually, yeah, I met anthroposophy in 2015. It is about 9 years ago in Colisco Conference, Malaysia. Also, it's an anthroposophic conference in Malaysia, also organized by the team, by Kongsi team, I think, yeah, and also in IPMT team. I did not know about that, but that time I was actually like have a burning question. It's kind of like, what is the meaning of life? Back, I think about 10 years ago in 2014, when I was still an engineer, actually a friend of mine died in a car accident. And it somehow brought me to give me a lot of the mental impact about life and death. Yeah, that time I was 27 years old, and my friend, he was 28 years old. So he just died in the car accident, and it gave me actually, I think it's quite, the interesting part is that I actually don't know this friend quite well. I just know that there is this student from another university, and I met him in an intervarsity program. And I don't even have the memory whether we have talked to each other before or not. But when I got the news that he just died in a car accident on the spot, it gave me a big impact. So the impact is like, okay, we always thought that we will live until a very old age. But my friend just died in the car accident at the age of 28. So I'm 27 now. So I asked myself my question. So when will I die? And how will I die? And then also think about my own death. And then also the question, it will further like, when will my family member die? And how will they die? So just by thinking of the death of my family member, knowing that my family members will finally die one day, it already gives me like a very suffocating feeling or very overwhelming feeling. So what I could do then was just like keep crying and crying in the toilet, and no one can give me the answer. Somebody can give me the answer, but I just think that it is not really into my heart. But somehow I carry this question. So maybe I think the topic for tonight, it would be, what is the burning questions in our life? I think every one of us, we must have these questions. What is the burning questions in our life? Why is it important? By now looking back for the past 10 years or 9 years, the burning question, actually, it could be a very important guiding principle in our heart that lead us to a life which is more meaningful. But of course, I think everyone, we have our own questions and we have our own wish in our life. So definitely there is no absolute answer to what is the right wish for everyone, because everyone has their own wish or has their own task in this life to accomplish. So, but I think from my learning in anthroposophy, especially with Rolf Heiner, a very experienced anthroposophic nurse, because we invited him to lead or to conduct a 1-year training course in palliative care with anthroposophic nursing or anthroposophic care last year. And from the anthroposophic way of understanding about life, maybe I could give a sharing on this, and because I think it is quite helpful for us to find the burning questions for each of us in our life. So because we are in the palliative care, so that means how to accompany a dying person in a more dignity way is very important for us, and how to respect this life and accompany until the end of the life. So this is what we learn. So the understanding that we must have regarding what is life or what is the meaning of life is this. So this is from my understanding. He said when a human or one person, when he's dying, and after this person dies, they will go through some processes. So the processes, it would be the first process after this person died, okay? So then it will start to review every memory in his or her life. Every memory, whether we remember it with our mind now or not, but we will certainly like go through or review like a panorama, and to see like an exhibition, is an exhibition of our own life, to see every memory that we have spent or we have experienced in our life since we are born until we are dead. So after looking this panorama, review this every experience, the next stage or the next level is to experience the emotional part, or we call the soul experience. So for example, at a certain memory, we could recall, oh, okay, maybe we see this stage where this person, how we treat a person, okay, maybe we have an encounter with a certain person, for example, one of our family members, maybe our spouse, okay. So when at this experience, we see maybe we have done something, we thought it is not so significant, it's something very easy for us, very simple for us, but this person, he or she, is very touched by the little move that we do. So this is something interesting, because besides we will experience our own feeling, we would also experience the feeling of the others. So maybe we could experience, oh, they are so grateful and they are so touched by the little thing that we have done. This could be a possibility. And also another possibility would be, and this is the most of the case, that they would touched by the feeling that they experience of others, which is we did something, maybe we did something that we thought it is not significant, but actually it hurt the person. So then when we review this experience, to experience this feeling again, we experience the hurt feeling of the others. Then we could be in shock, or it could be in sadden. It could make us saddened because, like we said, oh, I didn't realize that this little act could actually hurt him or hurt her. Then we have a sense of guilt, or sense of guilt or sad, or whatever emotion. So to make the after review everything, most of the cases that we have could be the sense of guilt. The sense of guilt, and we feel shame or feel guilty. So this is the feeling, and we have, after they have the feeling, then we have the wish to make things good again. So, but then we want to make things good again. And of course, we know, I also asked Rolf one question: how to cope with the very strong feeling of guilty and also very strong feeling of shame. Because most of us, we try in our life, we try to we do something like out of experiment, like doing some experiment. We do not have bad intention to do it bad, but somehow maybe just out of the experiment, sometimes experiment failed and turned out to be something bad. So this is I think most of us, we have a good result out of our experiment, and sometimes we have some bad result out of our experiment. So then Rolf, I think he gave a very important answer to my question: how to cope with a very strong sense of guilt and strong sense of shame. And then she said there are two ways of analyze or perceive this. First one, it would be, there is no one that would really want to do something bad. No one would want to do something bad. In other words, no one would have a bad intention to do something bad. Yeah, this is one thing. And then the second thing is, even though when this person has done a very bad things, he or she still deserves to be loved. It is a very clear and simple answer, but actually it really touched very deep in my heart. And it resolved a lot of the sense of guilty feeling, and also a very deep shame feeling in my heart. And then because I am a caregiver, I'm a massage therapist, and also I played Lyre for the palliative care and hospice care patients, which means they are very, very weak and very, very ill, and they are waiting for their time. So if, let's say, the person or the family member are willing to have us to accompany the journey, then we will do something. So this is what we do. So by understanding this feeling, we know that, especially for those who are really like dying or very, very weak or very, very ill, usually they cannot really talk anymore. Or sometimes they still can talk, but they just do not want to talk. They just prefer to keep quiet and to be silent and not to communicate anymore. In many cases, we could see that. And by understanding that sometimes when they spend this time reviewing their life about what they have done, or what people have done, or what they have experiencing, sometimes they have a very deep pain in their heart. Whether they realize that they have done something wrong, or they have a wrong mindset about what is life, and we so-called the experiment. They have done the experiment with an unexpected outcome that could hurt others or hurt themselves. So by this understanding that no one would have the bad intention to do something bad, and those who have done something bad deserve to be loved, I just carrying these two mindset with me. Actually, it is a very, very good companion that we can, or the very good gesture or attitude that we can carry as a caregiver to accompany a palliative care patients or hospice or dying patients, whether it is our own family members or whether it is somebody that we do not know each other yet. I think this is a very powerful silence. We do not have to talk a lot of theory with them, because sometimes it could be really too heavy for them. But as long as we carry this wish or this gesture or this inner attitude in our heart while providing care to them, they could feel that. They could really feel that. Maybe I could give some example, or come back to the question we said, what is the burning question? So go back to 10 years ago before I met anthroposophy. So I was like really like with this mental impact about what is the burning question that I have back then is, what is the purpose of my life? Yeah, what is the purpose of my life? And what is the meaning of my life, and what should I do? And back then I really have no answer, because I have been a lecturer in A-level, teaching A-level physics. I have been an engineer. I have been early childhood education, not ward off. It just previously just some experiments, experience, and also a research assistant in the university. These are some experience that I have as a job. But when I think back, if I die tomorrow, yes, this is also a burning question. If I die tomorrow, what will I do today? So there's certainly no answer. But then the next morning you wake up, you still have this burning question. If you die tomorrow, then what will you do today? I think it takes me quite some time to really like to have an idea and to put into action. So there's one day I just think, okay, I do not know the answer, but I think the nature will give me the answer. So one day I think in order to go through, actually I already quit my job as an engineer back then, because I was like suffering from panic attack, which I didn't really realize about that. Only many years later, I only realized that the symptoms are called panic attack, which I have a very tense chest, feel very tense chest and very hard to breathe. And it is like always have the blackout, feel dizzy and then blackout. Blackout means is like you cannot, suddenly you just feel black and dark, you cannot see anything, but you know that you are conscious. And these symptoms, it could last a few minutes, it could last sometimes shorter, a few seconds, or sometimes it could last a few minutes. Yeah. And then it happens more and more frequent. And then there's a worst case when I was driving to the site, and then this panic attack come. I cannot see anything when I was driving. And then it gave me an alarm. It's kind of like a wake-up call to tell me that I must take note of my own health. So then I went to see doctors, but then the doctors can check nothing. They say you are all good, but nothing's wrong with you. So then, yeah, so finally, but I know there's something wrong in me, but doctors do not know anything. So I say, never mind, maybe the nature could give me the answer. So, but then I think I need my own time. I need to be away from Malaysia, because otherwise my family members, they will be worried about me. So finally, I said, very important question is like, what is your burning question? And when you have this kind of burning question, right? And when you have a certain wish to answer to the burning question, you somehow could see the signal here and there, and you could actually like grab the signal. So then one day I was right, I know that I need to go to nature, but where? Not in Malaysia, but where? So there's one day when I was driving, just doing some errand, and then I heard over the radio station, the radio FM, they have a program, and they call it like a work exchange. So work exchange, then I say, okay, this is good. And then in work exchange in a farm. So farm is something related to nature, okay, and then it is in Taiwan. So I say, okay, it's a good idea. You can go work exchange in a farm. So then that means you can actually provide your time and energy to work in the farm, to do some farm work, and then they could give you accommodation and food in exchange. I say this is a pretty good idea, because even if you don't work, but at least you have a shelter, you have a food to survive, then it's already good enough. And I'm willing to contribute in a farm, because I know that the nature could give me the answer. Of course, I don't know what is the answer. But finally, in the 2 months, yeah, I spent 2 months there in Taiwan farm, and then there's a work exchange. I met a lot of people from different countries and different backgrounds, and it actually opened my horizon about the possibility in life. So it gave me like, okay, there's a lot of possibility in life which we could try. So then I say, okay, good. After Taiwan, I think maybe I would like to travel more around the world in the farm, different cultures. And then, yeah, I think, okay, then I say, okay, I want to do this. Then the next But if I just do farm work, I still feel like lacking of something, because farm work means everybody can do it. But how can I add value to myself? How can I contribute myself to the journey when I visit the farm? Then I say I must learn a skill so that I can contribute to the farmer. Then I say, okay, then what skill should I learn? Then when I was a farmer in Taiwan for 2 months, I said I always have like a backup, doing farm work. So I say, okay, farmer, they need a good massage. So that's how I become a massage therapist in Malaysia. That's how I pick up the course and become a certified massage therapist. Yeah. And then soon after I become a certified therapist in Malaysia, I focus on women and specialize on the head, neck, shoulder problem, because many people have this head, neck, shoulder problem. And the conventional method that I learned is the Swedish Thai massage. So, and the method that I learned is very effective. And then you will see that you have more business coming in. First, I use pay as you wish because I was a trainee. So I just pay as you wish and focus in Kota Communing residents. And then you see that slowly people comes because it's so effective. So until one day, someone refer a patient to me, and she is a colon cancer patient, already end stage, just at the age of about 42 or 43 years old. So she asked for a massage because she said she is in very deep pain. So I say, it is already beyond our professional limitation to give a massage to a heavily or terminally ill patient. But then she asked me, I just want to have a good relaxation. You don't have to do a proper massage for me. I just want to have a good relaxation. Then I say, okay, then we try. I said, we can try, but we must carefully try. Okay, so then I went to her house. We start from a back massage. And for the first 5 minutes, when I just start very gently on the back, and she started to cry. It shocked me a little bit. I thought I make her pain. Then I asked, did I hurt you? Then she said no. Then slowly you could hear that I have the feeling that I need to let her cry, and I need to let her talk if she wants to. So I offer her, say, if you feel like talking or if you feel like crying, you are allowed to talk or you are allowed to cry. Then for the 1.5 hour session, she cried a lot and she talked a lot. And this expression from the heart is something you could feel like there's a very, very deep sorrow in herself. And the thing that she shared is something that she cannot share with others. But because she did not know me and we did not know each other, so that is a space where she could actually release herself. So I think, yeah. So then I'm not sure how was the massage for her, but I know that she cried a lot and I could feel that it is like a big release for her. So I told her, if you feel you want me to come again, then we can arrange again. Then she said yes. So finally, I went there for 4 sessions, once a week. And for the 4 sessions, 1.5 hours is for her to cry and talk. Until one day, then I said, on the 4th session, because I'm really curious, how could I help her, whether this massage helped her or not. Then she cried again. She said, this is about our fate. She said this word, fate. It is a fate that we meet each other, where she could really like release herself in talking and in crying. So then I have another burning questions or another burning wish is I would like to learn a massage that could support these patients who are terminally ill and very, very ill or very, very sick, because I know that they need to have this release of this inner tension. The physical work to save this life is not our task, it's a doctor's task. But when a doctor cannot save this life anymore because this body is already like damaged so terribly that cannot sustain life and waiting for time for the moment of death. And during this period, what can we do to support? I think it's very important for us to support the emotional part and also the spiritual part. So I make a wish to learn a massage skill that could really support these very, very ill patients. So there's just less than 1 month gap. It was like 2015, early May, I met this patient and made this wish. And then I received this message from somehow I was in the Buddhist organization. And then this colleague, she just passed me a brochure saying that this is a holistic conference. if you are free, then why not you go? Then I say, okay. Then I check the time and the date. I'm very free at that time because I'm freelance on massage. So I just say, okay, I decide to go. So then it was many workshops. Like now in ACM, this ACM really actually like made me recall about 9 years ago in the Colisco conference. I was totally new, no idea about what is anthroposophy. But because of this, just like we call it fate. So somehow I see many workshops, more than 20. So they say you are allowed to choose 3, and then final decision, the organizer will make the final decision which workshop should you go. So then I say, okay, then I say, the first choice actually I choose is a biodynamic because it's about farming, and then my wish is still travel around the world to work in the farm. Yes, so I choose biodynamic farming. And then second workshop I choose is the biography. It's a biography workshop because that time I'm still searching what is the meaning of my life. So I want to know more about my life. That's why I say, okay, I choose biography as my second choice. And then third choice, I look through the program. Okay, and then the workshop, the music workshop actually caught my attention. I said music. They said, why is music important for children? Yeah, for children, but I think I'm not children, but I think music is something very new to me, and I never really learned about music before. So I said, okay, music is quite interested because I don't know anything about music. So just give it a try, just to fill out the blank music. So when the reply from the organizer, they asked me to go to music. I said, okay, fine, I just go to the music. So in the music workshop, it's like a 4 days workshop. Yeah, it's a 4 days workshop. Also, it's a 1.5 hours. So I went to the music workshop, and then you can see like a lot of instruments. Some is the actual instruments that we know, and some is just like some wooden ball or some chopsticks. Anything you could see in the workshop, which you feel really interesting. So yeah, have a look of all these instruments. And finally, the music therapist from Berlin, his name is Stefan Kühne. Yeah, so then he conducted a lot of activities from the instruments, and it is very fun, and it is like totally out of a mindset about music. It is not about theory, it's not about instrument, but it's just like making activities together with a group of people. So throughout the interaction, somehow it made me have the impression that it made me realize that, wow, this life is like a music. Our life is really like a music, and interaction with other people is also a music. And whether this music is a very soothing music or it is a very harsh music that we feel tense from the music. And somehow from the experience, I have the awareness that my interaction with people around me, especially to my husband, is very aggressive. I didn't realize that. Actually, I didn't realize that. I thought it's very normal because in my family members and my circle of influence is also kind of like, this is the way that we communicate, but we didn't realize that it's so harsh. Yeah, so this is I think it's a good step to know or to be aware about that. Yeah, and somehow, yeah, I just have an experience. And then in one of the session is about this Lyre. This Stefan Kühne, the music therapist, he shared about this music instrument called the Lyre. And he said this is a very beautiful instrument, and then he make us lie down and then to listen to the lyre. It is a very beautiful and very soothing instrument, and actually it touched me. And he said he played this instrument is a very important instrument in anthroposophic music therapy, especially in the hospital when he played for those who suffers from a very strong, like intense emotional tension, or for those who are very weak, bedridden, or in coma, or in a dying patient. Yeah, so this is the impression that I have about the Lyre, but I do not have any intention to learn about it because I'm totally zero in music. But I just think, okay, Lyre is a very beautiful instrument, but when I check at the price, it's very expensive. Even just a small Lyre, seven string Lyre, it was sold in the Colisco conference out there in the booth. Then I check it's already like 1,000 plus. Then what about this adult, the Lyre for adults? It could be more expensive. So somehow I think I do not have enough money, so just forget about it. Until a few months later, it was like in Colisco, it's the end of May, But 5 months later, in October 2015, there was another wave of panic attack, I would call that. And actually, I was in a depressive mode, but I didn't realize about that. Yeah, only many years later, when I get through it, only I realized actually it's like a depression. And somehow I really feel really stuck in my life, and I really do not know how to continue from there. And actually, I decided to end my own life. Yeah. And then at the moment when I really want to end it, I use a knife in my house. So yeah, so I just by cutting wrist, because I think this is the most simple thing. So but then at the moment I have the a sudden a wake up call. It say if you want to die now, it's because you want to start a new life. You want something bright. But if you kill yourself in such a way, in such a dark way, it will not give you suddenly a bright life in your next life. Yeah. Then also there's another impulse came. It said, if you want to start a new life, you don't have to die now. You just have to go and have a good sleep. And when you wake up, you consider it's already a new life. Yeah. So I just tidy up everything, and then I went to sleep. And then the next morning, I woke up and okay, now it's my new life. Then what should I do now? So then the first image that popped up into my mind is this Lyre that appears in my life 5 months ago in Colisco conference. So I say, okay, since this is the first image that come out, and because I already have no direction and no orientation, so this is since you come up, so I just set it a goal to find you and to play you. So I just set it a goal for me to continue living. So I just set it a goal. So that's how I start my journey. I have no money, and then then you have to, because the goal is to find this Lyre, then you have to find money. Yeah, and somehow and finally I find a way to get this Lyre. I asked Stefan Kuhner where to get this Lyre, and he gave me a contact, so I contact this Lyre maker. Yeah, and so on. It's a long story, but we don't share it now. But somehow it is not difficult way, not difficult process, but because you have a clear direction, you want it, that is your wish, then we will find way to overcome the obstacles. So that's why we say it is very important to find what is the wish or what is the burning question in your life. So that day when I ask myself, if I die tomorrow, what should I do today? Is to find the Lyre. If I die tomorrow, what should I do today? Is to find the Lyre. So this is how to get me step by step, day by day until then. Yeah. So I think there's I don't think my sharing now is about my story, but I'm not here to encourage everyone must play a Lyre in order to find the meaning of your life. But it is just my story. But of course, this Lyre, and somehow it is a very important instrument that connect me again with other people. Yeah. So it is like when I play in the hospital, I play with Stefan, and she teach me. Yeah. So there's also another very important question: how to ask the right questions in order to get the right answer. So that time, back then, I asked Stefan, I want to learn Lyre, will you teach me? Are you free to teach me? I ask these questions. But you already asked 100 times, you still do not get the right answer because there's no answer. Then slowly I noticed I got so frustrated. Kind of like when you so urgently want to learn something or so eagerly want to learn something, then you must certainly find way. So when are you free to teach? When are you free to teach? But later on, I find that there is no such thing as somebody is so free to teach you something. Then I tried to reformulate my questions. Then I thought, okay, I might make a decision from this time to this time. Okay, so I make it like a 6 week. I find a 6 week time which I could make a trip to Berlin Hospital, Anthroposophic Hospital, to learn Lyre. I make it very clear that I want to learn. So I say, okay, Stefan, I'm going here from this date to this date. Can I arrange time with you to learn Lyre with you? And then finally you got the answer, yes, we can try that. But then he did not promise, because he said the life in hospital is so full and so busy. What he said, I said, never mind, I will follow your time. Then when I went to the Berlin, I really every morning I have to check, Stefan, do we have time today? Then he said, yes, okay, what time to what time? Then we make it. And then the second day I have to ask again, okay, Stefan, are we free? Do we have time today to learn Lyre? So somehow when we make this step or process, smaller step and smaller part, then you could see that you will find the right answer and find the right step. So at the 6 weeks there, almost every day, Monday to Friday, we could arrange time to play the lyre there. And somehow I see the lyre is a very beautiful instrument. And Stefan, he did not talk a lot, but he just listened to when I talk something, he listened. And after listening, then he just composed some music. And after he composed, I don't ask a lot because I just play. So I just try to play the music, and somehow over the period with the music, you find that actually it could somehow help to rearrange our mindset, or you would find something from the music itself. Yeah, and somehow it would help me to overcome. And then there's one day I asked him, when can I start to play lyre for others? Because when I play it, I find that it's very soothing for myself and it could really help relax. So I asked him one question, when can I start to play lyre for others? And then he said, you can play anytime when you don't have to look at the music score anymore. Yeah. And then I said, this is not something too difficult for me because I cannot do sight reading. So I just must memorize the music that he wrote for me. So this is how I played. So I think then I can start anytime. So I said, fine, then that means I can play anytime already because I already memorized a few pieces of music by heart. Then he said, yes, then you can start doing it now. I said, now, no, when I go back to Malaysia, I will do it. Then he said one word. I think Stefan is very inspiring because he don't really talk a lot, but when he talk, it is something impulsive and very clear and precise. He said something, I said, but my answer to him is I can already play without looking at the music. Then when I go back to Malaysia, I will play it. Then he said, no, if you don't do it now, you won't do it even 10 years later. Then I said, okay, fine, you are my teacher, so this is what you say. Then I try to do it. So then after the session, I just went out to the town in Berlin called Spandau Old Town. So I just go to the town. I mean, any by hook or by crook, I must play something now because that time I was very depressive. Actually, I already lose trust in every person, really like already cut off. But now I feel like connecting with people again. So then I just, okay, by hook or by crook, now I must sit down and connect with people again. So then I went to the town, Old Town, at the bench with a red brick road, you know, it's very beautiful. So I just choose a very, very hidden place and start to sit down and open my lyre and start to play. And you know, lyre is a very, very gentle instrument, which is meant for indoor, not for outdoor. But I was in outdoor, it's so open space. Actually, when you play it, you can hardly hear the sound of the lyre. Even me, myself playing it, it is very, very soft for me to hear in outdoor. But I just play it anyway. And then, I think a few minutes after that, two children, they came, like about 8 or 9 years old. They came and sit by my side and listening to me playing the lyre. Yeah, and then slowly you could see people stop and pass by and they will see that. And then they even put some coin in my box. So I think this is some experience that I have. And then slowly you will see it connected. And then there's one day when I was waiting for the session with Stefan, I also chose a very hidden place at the back of the hospital. And I thought nobody would see me there. So I just sit down under the tree and then just start to play lyre. And after I playing a few times, after I finish, I just practicing. And after I finish, I keep everything because time's up for the session with Stefan. So I just pack. And when I stand up and I look back, there is an old woman standing in front, that means inside, indoor, in the room. She is standing at the window and looking out at my direction. And obviously, she was already standing there listening for some time. And then she gave me a very warm smile. Yeah, so this is from this very, very little step that this is how I connected with people again. So it gave me confidence to be reconnecting with people again. So when I come back to Malaysia, I received a call. Actually, it's also from a friend. And she told me that her friend is already in coma. Also, it's about 42 or 43 years old already. It's like lung cancer. Lung cancer is a very soon, the progress is very fast. From they know that this is from the diagnosis of cancer is already end stage, and from this diagnosis to the coma is only 2 weeks time. So it's like a very, very big shock. So the family asked me, can you do something or not? But you certainly know that this is not your task to save their life, but you could feel the desperation of the family members to save the life. They want to try everything that they could. Then I say, my task is not to save life, that's the doctor's task. But since doctors said that nothing can be done, just wait for the time, then maybe we could do something if you want to. So I say our intention is to support. To support the patients, to build up their inner strength, first is to release their emotion, okay? To release the emotion through the massage, the anthroposophic massage therapy, and also with the Lyre. Then when the emotion is released, then slowly they could see clearer in their thinking about what is their actual situation now. And with this more clarity in their thinking, even though they're in coma, but certainly we know that they still have their inner thinking and inner. So when they can see more clarity, there's more clarity in their thinking about their own situation now, then they could make a better decision for their own life. So if they decide to live, then they can live more peacefully or more stable, with a more stable mood. And if they would like to stay, then we could support them to stay more comfortably. So this is how we talk to the family member, and they agreed. So I went there because I was very free. So I went there to Selayang Hospital, the palliative ward, to visit her every day, almost every day. And from time to time, you could see that it is already coma. You could see that the focus, the eye, the visual, there's no visual contact, even though sometimes because she is already with morphine, already like in coma. So you could see that sometimes the eyes are rolling, but sometimes it's open, but you know that there's certainly no eye contact. And the skin of the calf, right? You could see that the muscle is so weak that only skin and bone, there is no muscle structure or no flesh structure. And then slowly you could see every day, second day, the first time after the first day, actually the next day when I went again, the mother said the patient, the daughter, actually, she sweated a lot. She said previously she did not sweat, but after the massage or after the session, she sweat a lot, which is a good sign for them. And then the next one, they could also see that previously they had to use the pill for it to pass motion, but then now without pill, she can pass the motion by herself. To them, everything seems like become more and more stable. And on the ninth session, when I went again, you could see that the patient opened her eyes. This is the first time I saw her open her eyes, and then you could see that there is an actual eye contact between the patient and me. She saw me, she's looking at me, and I knew that, and she knew that too. Then I started to have some hope. Is this some hope? But then I report this to my mentor every time, and then they reminded me that it could be a final color. So this is what they say, it could be a final colors. So then they say, okay, but I still carry some hope. Maybe she could recover. But then on the next day, when we want to go again, and in the midnight, I received a call from the family members saying that this patient, she has passed away very peacefully at night with all the family together with her. Yeah. So then after the funeral, I also played the music for her. For the funeral, it's not for the deceased one, but also is for the atmosphere. It's for the peace of the atmosphere. Yeah, to stabilize it. And somehow after the funeral, I offer this to the younger sister of this patient because I know that she is very in deep shock. So I offer the parents and also for this younger sister. So after receive the treatment, this younger sister told me, she said, Niki, I would like to say thank you or express our gratitude on behalf of my sister, because just from this one session that I received from you now, I could feel very, very protected from the treatment itself. Yeah. So this is the first case that I received on palliative care, but it somehow give me the encouragement or the inner strength to continue to support these patients. Yeah, so this is how I go through this until now for 9 years with palliative care and the dying patients. So we say, if we ask ourselves, we say, what is the burning questions in our life? So we say, it is like a candle in our heart to guide us. What do we really care in our life, and how should we care? So this is my practice, and also actually is a guidance from Rolf Heiner, the anthroposophic nurse, also my mentor in my work with palliative care and hospice patient with anthroposophic body therapy and Lyre. So this is a guidance for us. Every one of us, we have our own wish, right? So how do we really get closer to what is actually our wish, or what is our task in this life? Every night there is an exercise which is very practical. So before we sleep every night, we can ask ourselves, when we review today, the whole day today, what is really essential for me and what is not essential for me? So this is how we identify or to be aware about our own life, what we do and what we not do, and what is important for us and what is not important for us. And then the next morning, so we sleep through with the questions, okay, what is essential and what is not essential. And when we sleep and wake up the next morning, we ask ourselves, okay, like, what do I really care about today? What do I really care? And we just give ourselves 3 things, 3 little goals for the day to do it. And at night, we review again what is important for us that we have done today and what is not important, what is essential and what's not essential. And sleep again. The next morning, we wake up and ask ourselves again, what do I want to do today? What do I really care? And make a small little task, 3 tasks a day to do it. If 3 is too much, then you just make it 1. At least we live every day with more awareness, and this is how we make every day more meaningful. And certainly day by day, week by week, month by month, or year by year, it would lead us closer to what we really want to do. I think this is what I need to share today. I'm not sure if the time is already over or not, but yeah, to make a conclusion about what is our burning question. And this is what I learned the most from anthroposophy. I think anthroposophy is very important, especially it is not just theory or a concept, but it is something already 100 years of history in the world. And it is very practical, it's scientific and practical. And you could see that the effect, even though something is very gentle, but the effect is very prominent and very significant. Yeah. I hope maybe in future we can share more about more stories about, or more experience about how the anthroposophic massage and also the Lyre works. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Niki, for such a wonderful sharing. Every time your sharing did bring me something different. From today's what I listened from the story, I suddenly write down a few sentences. It seems like the contributions or your services, or how you provide the care for either the patients or the people surrounding or special needs, is a care that touch the inner feelings, and a care that nurture the soul, and a care that heal both either the caretaker and the caregiver as well. And the care that brings warmth and love that heals everyone. So it is it is a journey that Niki goes through. And of course, like what she mentioned is everyone have your burning questions. So tonight you may just find out what's your burning questions, and if you have a burning question, how we face it, whether you're against it or you take it as a gift, then you go and search what can you do for your next, or what really can helps you to overcome this obstacle or make you another transformation. So I think this is all the journeys that Niki encounters anthroposophy in one of the conference, as she mentions. And now I like to take another 10 more minutes, to share with you the conferences that we mentioned about. And we hope that you could take these opportunities and to join us this coming June. Yeah, so this coming June 20th, 26th to 30th, then we have our next coming Anthroposophic Conference Malaysia 2024. And this conference actually is not a new event to us, in fact, because earlier on, we do organize an online during the MCO. So when it come about to introduce such a conference, that we had to mention someone which is really support us in this all this learning journey, which is our dear mentor, Dr. Michaela Glocker. And she is the keynote speaker since the first IPMT brought to Malaysia. Yeah, so she's very support on what all the community buildings and the learning in not only in other all over the country, but also in Malaysia. So because of her, that we have the opportunity, to have this event, like in 2013 and until 2019, we have IPMT, which is we call International Postgraduate Medical Training in Malaysia, and the 2015 for Codisco Conference. And this event has brought together, not only the tutors, the anthroposophic tutors from all around the world, and also with the participants from Malaysia and others region, that all with the supported by a team of local and overseas volunteers. So our goal is hope that the knowledge, the wisdom of anthroposophy, it could be integrated in our professions and in our daily life. So during the MCO, we host an online Anthroposophic Conference Malaysia, which we hope that we can connect people in different ways during the period of time. And now, because the whole scenario is back to normal and lit up, and we feel that it is very important that we connect people again, and a physical conference is kind of like a platform, to serve this purpose. And then we have this Anthroposophic Conference Malaysia this year from June 26th to June 30th. Yeah, this date actually is given by Dr. Michaela 2 years ago. So we start preparations about since the 2 years ago. And this time, we have the organizer is by Gongsi Co-op, a Gongsi Co-op, which is we formalized this co-op since 2 years ago with the fundamental of a threefold social order, which is inspired by the Steiner's the philosophy, where the cultures, the rights, and the economy is all together in a balanced circle. Yeah, so this is how we inspire us, and how we guiding us to form this co-op. Yeah, and also this is a platform that where we could practice whatever we learn, whatever we learn, and it is to experiment how to do a community building. Yeah, so organizing this conference actually is the application for this model, and where we could collaborate and integrate the education and the economy part. That's why we have the workshop as well as the market during that day. Yeah. So for the past years, all the surplus we went to Gotianum, Switzerland, and to support Dr. Michaela's foundations to all this community building works, and for this year, if there's a surplus, and they will go through to the Gongsi Co-op for the community building initiative. So we will have this surplus. If everyone join, then we are able to use this surplus to continuously to build, to do the community building. That's why for this event, we have 17 co-organizers from different fields that to support this event, to advocate and to do all this, to work together And all these organizers came from different background. They are farmers, they are the ethical businesses, and also they have a schools organizations. Yeah. So and if you are there with us this coming June, then you will see you can hear their story, and also you could experience a lot of experience their products, or also to experience what the services they are provided to the community. So we have a 4 objective for this conference, which we hope to connect people, not only from Malaysia, but also from other regions. Then there's a deep connection, it can more holding people together. And also we hope that no matter whether you are new learners or alumni, that could be deepening what you have in your professions. And of course, that we hope that the learning could be broaden your perspective, and you can enjoy other kind of a learning in different discipline. And last, like as Niki's story, how this all learning, can inspire you. So we can be inspired, transform, and we hope that you could find something which is meaningful to you and for your individual development. So that's why we have worked out 11 workshops. And then all this hosted by the tutors from different countries, where from US, Europe, Taiwan, Egypt, Thailand, Philippines, and Malaysia. Yeah, for all the workshop, we have a limited seat for each workshop, and it's based on first come, first serve basis. Yeah, so and all these 11 workshops, they have a different topic of this the different topics of the learning. And for the details, because time constraint, and you can visit our website or orders our official channel to find out more about the background of the tutors as well as the workshop's content. And other than the workshop, we have 13 art and practices classes. And you can see Niki will be hosted the class, which is about the Lyre. And then during the workshop, you could experience, with different kind of music instrument that Niki has, and then she will let you experience. Then you will feel like, oh, to play a music is not so difficult, and everyone can do this. Yeah, so it's a very good experience that I had experienced before, and you can notice that for the art and practices, the classes, and most of our tutors are from local. Yeah, so this is also another our intention, that we hope that our local tutor could be have the platforms and to share whatever they learn. Yeah, they are very experienced. They are the school teachers. They're also involved in the farmers, do some work in the farming, and like for example, they are contribute their services in different fields. Yeah, so all their experiences and their learn what they have they learn and they teach. So this is, we hope that more and more local tutors could be, one day they can really have their own how to say, their own a platform for them to share whatever they have. Yeah? So it is where we hope that more people can join us this year. So we can take a look about the program. We have a 5 days program. However, for the first day, we started quite a late evening, where we start registration in the evening. And then we have a welcome note by Dr. Michaela. So the focus, we can see that the workshop and the classes is more of concentrate on this 3 days, which is the 27th until 29th. Yeah, and then for the Sunday is the last day of the conference, where we ended by the closing by Dr. Michaela, and also a community market. So you all can enjoy the market and meet friends, new friends at the end of the conference. So at the end, I really hope that what kind of key hours you could get. So because of course this is my key hours and some of the friends that come together, and of course meet new friends and connect with other communities. Like me and Niki, we never meet each other. We never know, because we're totally different background, and we are staying from different places. But because of the conference, because of the learning, it's kind of like a destiny that we meet each other, and then now we work closely, from time to time. So it's a place for you to make new friends and connect with other communities. So this may open up, your experiences as well through others doing. And of course, we hope that what you can harvest also be your own better self. You can find maybe another's your new chapter of life, a new journey that you could experience, and your hopes that the learning can give you some independent thinking and also the freedom of a choice. And the third one we hope, of course, is how you inspired to take action. Yeah. So like earlier on, like Niki shared, if you just keep on thinking and then without doing anything, you can't get any start. You can see any spark. But if you make a small move, like asking, you have a clear intention, you make a move, then you will see the things becomes different. There's a change. And last, to me, is very important, is to nurture. Whatever all the learning, did you nurture yourself? The nurturing is not only for outer, how it's mainly is your inner. The nurturing, if you get nurtured, you will be more give you the strength, give you warmth, they give you love, which is very important for one individual development as well as to the community. So we hope that during the for the conference that can bring you something new and something new experiences, and you can harvest from what you learn from that. So this is not because of intellectual learning, but it's more on inner learning for them. So last, there's fees, of course. The fee includes the conference tickets, lunch and dinner, refreshment materials. And we have to mention that during this conference, we're all using organic ingredients for all the meals. Yeah. So we have a special rate for two, which is 3,000 for two. Then why two? Come into and bring a trusted companion, either it's your spouse or your friends or your siblings, Then for this lifelong learning and development, because when we talk about a community building or talk about a group, a companion that's along the way, we can encourage each other, we can help each others. And this is very important to have to work in a group and to have a companion but during this journey of life. So that's all. We hope that we can see you in during this June. Yeah, and then for those who would like to register, of course, you could see our what they call the website, and also you could either scan it for the registrations and also for further information they can get in the padlet. Yeah. So thank you, Niki, and thank you, everyone. And then I think Niki's story is really give us inspirations, inspire us, how you search during this period of time. And of course, there's a lot up and down, but all this learning can really helps you and to overcome all the journey. Yeah, I think I have a strong feeling also, during when I leave the corporate world, and then I set up my own business, and after that, and I work together along of a good friends, a group of people who like-minded now in co-op, and this journey is totally different and totally different from what I expected. I never expect, and the challenges they give you, and how you would like to change, whether you're paralyzed or without any change, or you make a suffering, and then you just go through it. Then there's a different. I love this story about the tornado, the storm and the buffalo. When the storm is coming in front, whether you just goes through and then you can get through the storm, or you just make a turn back and then the storm also always in front of you. Yeah, and then when you go back, turn around, the storm is there. Yeah, so that's an option for everyone. And of course, you have you have a lot of options out there nowadays, because there's so many kind of learning. But whether this is another opportunity to open up yourself, just if it comes to your if your friends introduce you to come in today, or if someone introduce you about this conference, don't think twice. This is your destiny. Just join, and then you can see something different. Yeah, so this is my experience. And thank you all the friends who stay back and appreciate that, and which is very inspiring. I always believe that other person's story, right, will definitely inspire someone else. It may not the same, but once they pick up some of the keys, right, then it can be the starter. They can start you to make a move. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Samantha. And thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.